Yo, what is going on today, lads? I hope everyone is well and having a good Christmas, because Christmas has come early for Black Ops 4 Zombies fans. This is the craziest thing that has been solved on zombies ever, of all time. In my opinion, the most infamous unsolved Easter egg in zombies history has just been solved. So for zombies fans and Easter egg lovers, this is a very exciting day, because not only is this a really in-depth and good Easter egg, the reward is a perkaholic and a jump scare and free homunculus. That's probably the best reward we've ever had from a side Easter egg in the history of COD Zombies. And of course, this side Easter egg takes place on the most underrated zombies map of all time, Dead of the Night, the infamous Vase Easter egg. But before we go any further, I have to give a huge shout out to my boy Serious. He is on a roll. He helped us solve all the recent Easter eggs that just got solved on 9, and he's at it again today with helping us to solve the Dead of the Night Easter egg. Without him, none of this would have been possible, so a huge shout out to Serious for bringing some life back to the Black Ops 4 Zombies Easter eggs. These side Easter eggs have been so dead for a long time, and I don't think they would have ever been solved if we didn't have someone clever like Serious, who was able to decompile the code and figure out the steps for this quest. And I feel I also have to shout out Glitching Queen, Absolum, Choose, Flamer, and Maniac Killer. These are the people that have helped hunt this Easter egg over the last couple years, and I know have spent countless hours going hard, trying all sorts of combinations to try get this done. So shout out to those guys. All their links will be in the description of this video. So to catch people up who may not be aware, on Dead of the Night there has always been an unsolved Easter egg with vases. Now, we have always known that you can destroy these vases with explosives. You can either blow them up with a grenade, or you can pack a punch the trebuchet and shoot grenade rounds and they will blow up, and they make a little breaking sound. And we've never really known what to do with them, and we've tried countless things, thousands of different combinations on these vases, and we could never trigger the next step. And there's no wonder why we didn't figure it out, because this has got to be the hardest zombies Easter egg I have ever seen. So strap the fuck in, because this is very complicated. There's going to be 3 main things you need to know before you hop into your game. The first thing is, you need to remember the order which you open these 6 doors. The Pack-a-Punch forest door, the cellars, the main area to the dining hall to the greenhouse, the main area to the library, and the library to the cemetery. These 6 doors are going to be vital for the sequence of events that you need to do during the Easter egg. The second thing you need to know, that there are 6 gramophones placed throughout the map, and when you go through the map and open these doors, you need to take note of which gramophones you saw first. So the 6 gramophones, you have to know which order you saw them in. And you're probably asking, what do you mean saw them in? The game is literally coded to know when the player looks at the gramophone. So in my game, just to be safe, what I did is I opened the door, went up to the gramophone, and just aimed down sights at it to register that I have seen that gramophone in my game. The 6 gramophone locations are as follows. There is one on the ground in the music room, there is one on the floor in the dining room, there is one on a table in the library, there is one on the stairs in the west gallery, there's one on the table in the master bedroom, and finally there is one in the bookshelf in the east balcony. Now, the one in the east balcony on the bookshelf, you have to do a different side Easter egg to even be able to unlock it. When I go through step by step, I'll show you how to do this little Easter egg as well to unlock the bookshelf. In my game, I got one player, which was me, to do all of these steps, because it says in the line of code that it is player dependent. And if different players look at different gramophones first during the map, that is going to fuck up the order so bad, and it's going to be really hard to track. So I highly recommend one player opening every door and looking at every different gramophone. The last thing you need to know before you jump into your game is you have to have ray fires in your creator class. You will need to use ray fires in the third step of this Easter egg, so you have to put them on. The reason I have to tell you these things before you go in is because if you forget the order of the doors or the order you saw each gramophone, you will have to restart your game. So clearly this is just one of the most unforgiving Easter eggs of all time. So just be really cautious when doing each step so you don't have to restart the whole thing and waste heaps of time. Okay, so let's jump into the gameplay and I'll show you what step 1 looked like in my game. When you first spawn into the map, you don't have to be too careful because all the areas you have access to don't have gramophones in them, so you can sort of just open up the doors to the Senator artifact and then turn on the power. In my game, I went and opened the Pack-a-Punch door first, and the first gramophone I looked at was in the master bedroom, because once you turn the power on, the master bedroom opens up and it's an easy first gramophone to look at. The second door I opened is the door down to the cellars, which is the other door in the main area, and the second gramophone that I looked at in my game was on the west gallery stairs on the table there. I then went to look at my third gramophone just because it was close by, which was in the music room. My third door that I opened was from the main hall to the dining hall. I then went and grabbed my fourth gramophone, which is the one inside the bookshelf on the east balcony. The way you open up one of these bookshelves is an already existing side Easter egg. There will be 4 books across both bookshelves. You have to interact with the symbols on the spine of each book, and the order that you interact with them in is C, X, S, U. Once you've done that, the bookshelf will open, and as you can see, there is a gramophone inside. So to reiterate, that was my 4th gramophone, and then I went back to the dining hall, and to open my 4th door was the dining hall door that goes to the greenhouse. My 5th gramophone was now the gramophone that was on the floor in the dining hall where we just were opening doors. And then the 5th door I opened was on all the way on the other side of the map from the main hall to the library. Now that the library's open, I grabbed my final gramophone, number 6, which is on that table right there in the library. And then I opened my final door, number 6, from the library to the cemetery. Now you're probably thinking that sounds really complicated, but I just wanted to go through it in complete depth so people wouldn't get confused, because it does even get more fucking confusing than that. Now we have the order which the doors will open within your game. We can move on to step 2, which is destroying the vases. Now, even though this is not so complicated, it is quite hard to get your grenade into the vases itself, so I really recommend buying the trebuchet off the wall, which is in the library, and pack-punching it, because you will get the grenade launcher effect, and instead of spending hours there waiting for your grenades to recharge, this is a quicker, efficient way to do it. I've had heaps of experience breaking these vases when we were trying to solve it initially, so it might take you guys quite a bit of time to do this if you haven't tried it before, but it is just one of those things, it's a bit of a pain. Now obviously the order you shoot what vase is correlated to the doors that you opened. So I'm going to show you here in theater mode to make it easier. The first vase, which is above Pack-a-Punch, is correlated to the Pack-a-Punch door, obviously. The vase that is here, that is in the water, is correlated to the cellars one. Now the other 4 vases are split into 2 pairs. One is on the eastern side and one is on the western side. One vase on each wall is going to be lower than the other one. The lowest one on this side of the wall represents the door from main hall to dining hall. The one that's slightly higher on the same side represents the door from dining hall to greenhouse. Now if we go to the other side of the main hall, the one that is lower again represents the door from the main hall to the library, and the one that is slightly higher represents the door from library to cemetery. So I'll quickly show you in my game the order I shot my vases and where I shot them from. It might help you with angles trying to get that grenade into the vase itself. My first vase, pretty simple, go up to the bridge and just get it in over the top. My second vase was down in the puddle there, the one for the cellar. My third vase is the one from main hall to dining hall. My fourth vase is the one from dining hall to greenhouse. My fifth vase is the one from the main hall to the library. And my sixth and final vase is the one from library to the cemetery. Once you've done all that, you can come over to the pack-a-punch area here and look at this candle. If this candle has gone out, that means you have done the step correctly. It is previously lit when you start up the game, and it will go out if you do this sequence correct. Step number 3 is reigniting the candles. There's going to be a candle in every location that correlates to the doors you open. The order you ignite these candles is going to be the same order that you broke the vases, but reversed. It's going to be the exact opposite. So this is obviously where you are going to use your ray fires. Now when throwing these ray fires at the candles, I recommend you aim a little bit lower, because for some reason they get overshot a little bit and it's easier to miss. So in my game, the first door that I opened was Pack-a-Punch, so I will be doing Pack-a-Punch last. The first candle that I will be igniting is the one from the library to the cemetery, which you can find right here. The second candle can be located from the main hall to the library, which is right here. The third candle can be found from the dining hall to the greenhouse. The fourth candle can be found in this area from the main hall to the dining hall. The fifth candle is the one that is found in the cellars, and the sixth and the final candle is the one that is by Pack-a-Punch, the one that we already looked at earlier. Now once you've lit all 6 of these candles up, they should stay lit. If they go out again, that means you've failed the step. You are now onto the fourth and most annoying step of the Easter egg. The first thing you need to do is go to the master bedroom stairs and go pick up this record. Now that we have the record, we need to remember the order that we saw each gramophone in. I'm sure you should make a list or something, it would be a lot easier. So I'm going to bring my list up on screen. This is the order that I saw each gramophone. Now we're going to reverse it once again and do the exact opposite order that we found them in. This reversed order is the order you have to go and interact with each gramophone and place this record. So once again, the first gramophone that I saw in my game was in the master bedroom, so I will be going and interacting with that one last. So the sixth gramophone I saw in my game was the one in the library, which will be the first one I'll be interacting with. Once you go up to the gramophone and interact with it, it will start to play little bits of the Easter egg song, and that's how you know you're doing it right. So the second gramophone I'll be interacting with is going to be on the floor of the dining hall. My third gramophone that I had to interact with is the one in the secret bookshelf on the east balcony. The fourth gramophone location in my game will be found on the floor in the music room. The fifth gramophone location is in the west gallery on the stairs here. And the sixth and final gramophone I'll be interacting with is going to be in the master bedroom where we started. And that sixth and final gramophone should play the end of the Easter egg song if done correctly. Once you've done all 6 gramophones, you can move on to the final step of this Easter egg. You're going to want to head over to where the entrance to Pack-a-Punch is, and you're going to have to turn your audio up pretty high to hear this. You're going to hear the sounds of a ghost and whispering. You're going to have to follow this ghost around the map only using the audio. You're not going to be able to see anything, there's going to be no indications, purely just sound. It's honestly pretty easy, and you can hear it pretty loudly, but if you do struggle with it, just follow the same route that I take in my game, because it seems to be the same route every game. The ghost pretty much does take you all over the map, so it does take a couple of minutes to do this. But essentially how it works is the louder the sound is, the closer you are to the ghost. So if you just follow the sound around the map, you should stick to the ghost. And even if you lose a sound, once you walk back into the zone where the ghost is, you'll start to get that audio once again. It's honestly quite a cool step, like it's pretty unique. There hasn't been many other audio cue Easter egg steps in the past. And along with a lot of these other steps in this Easter egg, it is pretty challenging, and it actually requires a bit of skill. I'm going to speed up me following the ghost here so I can show you what the final part of this step is. I will leave a full uncut version of the route that I took at the end of this video so you can follow it slowly, just in case you get lost along the way. The ghost will eventually take you down to the cellar, and you'll notice that the sound will stop. Even though you're standing next to it, nothing will be happening. That's because the game wants you to go prone. Once you are prone, you will do the exact same thing and crawl and follow the ghost and the sound. The ghost will lead you until these barrels, and then this will happen.
I don't think she's a ghoul. I think she's been here all along.
Which is pretty sick. Definitely one of the best jump scares we've had in zombies. And not only that, but a couple seconds later, the game gives you all 6 perks and free homunculus, which is definitely some of the best rewards we've ever got from a side Easter egg as well. So honestly, I am so stoked this has been solved. It's one of the best Easter eggs we have in any of the Black Ops games. I'm just gutted that I didn't get to solve it a couple years ago when Black Ops 4 was a relevant game. But if you still are into zombies just like me, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed and dropped a like. This was a pretty tricky video to make because it's not the easiest one to explain, but in my opinion, definitely a worthwhile Easter egg, at least to do it once. But you guys let me know, what do you think of this Easter egg? Drop a comment below. What do you think is the best zombies side Easter egg of all time? I appreciate everyone watching. Later.
Do you think I'll be used to it by now? That wasn't so bad.